Step inside the door.
Hello and welcome to the pilot episode of Jester's Lounge. I am here with Imo Inuyasha and the one that makes this possible, David St. Dennis.
Hello everyone, being here.
So, how is everyone this evening? How about the Patriots?
Yep. Well, they had to win today because that way, people say last week was a fluke, but we just proved them that it was actually a legit win. So, yeah, good thing.
Well, I mean, wins and losses matter, but if a team is doing good, then that's a step in the right direction, because we know that with the debacle with Mac Jones and the Gerard Mayo and the way everything was going down post Belichick, y'all needed a fresh new start, and you guys got a new coach.
Who's here?
Yeah, and not to mention Drake May is a future quarterback, and the sky's the limit. Same thing with the Spurs. It took us a couple of years to get back to where we were. I mean, last season we probably would have made a play-in, but Wemby had blood clots in his shoulder, and then De'Aaron Fox came in mid-season during the trade deadline. We could have used him early in the season. I mean, but I think that the reason why that team was good last season, or so far good, is because we had Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul really made a difference.
Is there anybody backstage? I thought I heard someone came in.
No, it's just us three.
Okay.
I think it's probably because of I'm getting like.
I thought I heard something.
It's probably from the notifications I am getting. Apparently, in the chat, I guess Tyler's like, Tyler's still going on with that little debate with between the Patriots and him and Eric Lehman, which was interesting.
Yes.
As long as it doesn't get heated.
Yeah, that's true. But it's all good. They're conference rivals.
Yeah.
AFC.
Like the Dolphins. But we all know that you can't mention the Dolphins to a Patriots fan, because they'll get, especially if they're Bostonians, they get angry. Like the one time when I put David in a Dolphins uniform, and he goes like, "The Dolphins are a disgrace."
Yeah, just like Danny's legal tapes. Am I right? There's Sophie in the live chat. Oh, there's Sophie. Yeah, the Dolphins are a disgrace, just like Danny's single chips. Can you show us your background picture for a moment?
The background picture?
I don't know if there's a way to do that.
I think I can present it.
What's this?
Oh, I think I know. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah. And I mean, so the people, what this background looks like, it's a pretty awesome background right there. I gotta admit. Where did you find that?
Thanks to Gemini.
I see.
I'm telling you, Google Gemini. Google Gemini is a lifesaver if you're
Yeah.
If you're in need of graphics for your show at short-term notice, because this was short-term notice, and we needed that. So, but it does its job. AI is the new thing nowadays.
I do like AI in some ways.
Like, if you ever like are doing a podcast or something, and you need a 10-second graphics, boom, there you go. But also, it's also good when you're it's also good when you want to do channel art.
Yeah. But I would normally, I would be on my hands, but I wanted to help Jesse here and also to get the Silverline, so I'll be here for at least the next few episodes. So that's why I want to be here. And
So, David, have you been seeing those crazy shorts that have been on YouTube of like Martin Luther King,
yeah,
Tupac Shakur? I mean, a lot of people are getting. I mean, and Robin Williams is another one that I've been seeing. And
have you seen those, Timo?
Yeah.
Those
No,
AI videos,
guys.
those AI, not specifically those, but have you seen like other type of
Yeah.
AI videos?
They've been doing the AI of Robin Williams, and the daughter is not really happy about it.
I
His
mean,
daughter
I guess
Zelda.
as far as AI videos are concerned, I think I've only seen like
Yeah,
certain several ones with Toy Story and then Shrek and
Toy Story. Yeah, for sure.
It's been crazy because I've seen ones with Bob Ross and freaking Mr. Rogers crash it out or wrestling each other, going through a flaming table, and I'm like, my God, these people have lost
I
their
know.
minds.
I know it's crazy, and I'm just like, wow. But I don't know. I don't know who invented AI. That's the question. Like, was it like Elon Musk or someone? Like, who invented AI in the first place?
I don't know, that Sora AI has become
Yeah,
very popular. I mean, I've been trying to find it myself so I could like, have Chayton do stupid shit like get run over. Oh no, not like, have Chayton get chased by grizzly bears, or have Chayton get get stung by wasps. No, I was playing.
oh,
But like,
he would be filling like any chat with certain comments about that.
oh, you know what? I think if Chayton gets his hands on Sora, he's gonna be doing stuff with certain people.
I know it's crazy on how AI is. I mean,
Yeah.
on how they make those videos anyway. Like, I make the Bob Barker AIs.
The Bob Barker AIs are funny.
Yeah.
We got, ladies and gentlemen, we got Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Oh,
I think I know that guy with the glasses.
That's
I
email.
can't tell you which pair of glasses, but I see a guy with glasses.
Yeah, that's email, Mr. Beauregard.
I know the guy. He's the one who's always trying to beat video games, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And you seen his puppet, right?
His what?
His puppet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just like, wait a minute.
He's got a puppet that kind of looks like David.
hey, there you go. There you go.
Email, you can show him. You can show him.
I think that's kind of funny if he gets a little hat and everything for the guy. That'd be kind of funny.
I know.
He says, just put a Boston hat.
Yeah, the little Red Sox hat. And a microphone.
On the poor guy.
I wonder what celebrity I look like. Any celebrity.
I was gonna say you look like a really young Ben Affleck, though. A really young Ben Affleck, like Goodwill Hunting Ben Affleck.
Hi.
There's Yanni.
Yeah.
What? You watching the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that
Oh,
does
yeah, I
look
forgot
like
about
David.
Oh my
game.
goodness gracious.
That does look like David. You just have to get him a little hat and glasses. He's ready to go.
I know.
I can see better than my twin.
This is my dream LCS matchup. I've been telling you. I've been waiting years for this, even though These two teams have been in the playoffs 3 years earlier, and I've not forgotten what happened. The Jays went all Apollo 13. Wow.
I'm happy
Well-
for the Jays, to be honest.
Apollo.
They haven't been there since Joe Carter.
That was a long
Yeah.
Well,
I remember-
before the whole thing with I think it was with Batista. Their last win prior to that was, I think, after '93 was in 2012. So it took them almost 20 years to win another playoff game. It's kind of sketchy.
2015, actually.
Oh, 2015. So 22 years.
Correct.
Mhm.
That's a long time, but this would be the Mariners' first
Danny, if you really want
ALCS
to play
win.
Letter League just because it's 9/11, I guess we can.
And
Oh, Danny.
he's
That guy
joining
was-
the stream on another call.
And he's out.
Yeah, he's just like, let me get back to my rep bubble. I need money.
I need money. Don't forget to shop at my Red Bubble.
Keeping tabs on this game, it's kind of like I'm watching Royal Rumble, even though I'm not much of a wrestling guy, but to each their own.
I mean, honestly, I think the Mariners on Fangraphs have their shot. That's who's favoring them right now. But
Yeah.
the whole thing is, I want the Brewers to move on. I think a lot of America, except for Los Angeles, wants the Brewers to move on.
I'm watching for Josh.
Part of me wants to see a Mariners-Dodgers series because, my annual pilgrimage is there, and we'd call it the I-5 series that I've mentioned before. Those
Honestly-
Well, it runs down the same highway still.
correct.
Honestly, I'm not sure if Josh wants the Brewers to move on because he doesn't like either team. So
Well, the Brewers haven't been to a World Series since I don't think any of us were alive in '82.
1982, yeah, that was
no,
a hard-fought series.
I don't think ring around in '82. Jesse, what year were you born, Jesse?
I was born in '85, so I was
'85.
I wasn't around then until '85.
Yeah.
He's barely younger than WrestleMania is at this point.
Hmm. How did you become a wrestling fan at one point, Joey?
It's
I
a
started
long
the pre Attitude Era.
Hmm.
I liked wrestling because I was a wrestler in high school and in middle school. It's just,
Oh.
it takes a lot out of you. It's not, actual wrestling is different from wrestling
Yeah.
you see on TV.
Yeah.
But the ones that have actually had a wrestling background became great, like Kurt Angle's pure example of professional wrestler. That guy was a freestyle wrestler. He won a gold. He literally won an Olympic medal with a broken neck.
Yeah, he broke
Yeah.
his neck numerous times. The first time was in '96. I think
Yeah.
they said the second time was in 2003. So to do it once, let alone twice, is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
Damn.
the thing I'm worried about right now is, for the most part, the Astros have a big shot to get Alonso, but
Hmm.
for a 7-year contract, which he
That's-
desires, I
that-
really don't know about that one.
I'd give him maybe a 2-year, but
He
that's
wants
just pushing it.
He wants 7, but I don't. This was his best year in 2 years. I don't think he's going to get. He'll be good in Houston if he goes there, but Houston has been a first baseman graveyard. They had Uriel, Abreu, Christian Walker. Now it's just really, really bad.
Hmm.
I'll tell you something.
I mean, the last 20 years, the only successful first baseman they really had was Berkman.
Yeah,
And they were playing him in the outfield. And even for a brief period in the late 2000s, early 2010s, they were using Carlos Lee, who at 275 pounds by that point was at the end of his career. So again, I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but Houston seems to have become a graveyard for first baseman.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. They need they need some first baseman. I mean, I won't be surprised if They got Christian Cosplay as the ball player.
Oh, if Jeff Bagel stops getting people to come that are past their prime.
I gotta confess something, you guys.
Mm.
About a few years back, I dreamt of this LCS matchup between the Blue Jays and the Mariners that we're witnessing now, but I wanted the Dodgers and the Mets in the NLCS. It's unfortunate that the Mets kind of,
They
flopped
did it
down
to
the-
themselves.
Yeah.
It's like when you're running a marathon, and you're running a 26-mile marathon, the big one.
Yeah.
It's like when they got to the 24th, 25th, and 26th mile, and they were getting ready to cross the finish line, and then they couldn't do it.
I should have looked at that schedule closely with the Mets because they did the same thing back-to-back years with the Marlins. Like, that's their 86 curse, you know.
But
It's not so much the Marlins, I don't think, as it's more or less they run out of steam at the end. It's
Yeah.
the constant thing where you think you're going to make it to the finish line. They eased off the gas a bit too soon. That's the way I would interpret it. Because when I see a team like the Mariners, and this isn't towards the Astros from 2016 until now, that's a decade-long dominance. So,
Yep.
Yeah, take it
well, hello there, unexpected guest.
But you know something regarding the LCS matchups? 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Well, a lot of them didn't expect the Brewers to make it past the Cubs, but that was only because a lot happened.
Yeah. And if they make it, imagine a Brewers Mariners World Series, that would be something.
1969 all over again, because the Brewers went on to become, they were the pilots before the Brewers. So that was 1969 until 1970, I think, but still.
Yeah.
Bud Selig kind of took that franchise from what it was and screwed it.
I always forget that he was the owner of that franchise before he became commissioner.
But the thing that actually saddens me a little bit is Vin Scully and Bob Uecker would have been, and Bob Uecker was 90 when he passed, but he would have been 91 if he had still been around for this. But the only reason I'd root for a Brewers World Series is because of that.
And
only because of that.
And both announcers did their share of national work as well, too. Bob worked with ABC and NBC as a color commentator, and Vin did some NFL games for CBS and some MLB for NBC in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh does look like your quintessential baseball type. The mustache.
What a guy.
I never realized he had a lot of stolen bases this season. I was very surprised. Catchers don't run very often.
Yeah.
Breaking the moves.
Well,
and again, Josh Naylor had a 30 stolen base season, and that really surprised me.
Yeah.
Man, Cal Raleigh doesn't look all that powerful, but man, he just has that 90s baseball or 80s baseball look.
He kind of reminds me a bit of Ryan Klesko.
Oh, they're Teresa.
Ryan Klesko played for the Braves. He wore number 30. Not too many. I almost said the wrong thing. Not too many players have worn the number 29 and been so great at what they do. But when I see the number, I think of Rod Carew.
Yeah.
He had that unorthodox stance where it was like he was falling asleep on his back arm and everything else, but he wasn't.
Oh, that was a wild pitch.
Oh yeah, you're
watching. Seattle's holding their own here in Game 1. I'm very impressed.
After that long,
long
tiring extra innings game, man.
Tell me about it. I get off work and I thought the game had already ended. No.
Yeah.
7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, 10, 11, 12.
It was kind of reminiscent.
Once you get past the 10th inning, you just you don't lose interest, but you're just trying to keep your head up. You're like,
Yeah.
And David, I felt bad for David because it finally ended at like 4 a.m. his time. It was 1 a.m. here.
David had to be tired.
Well, he was sitting there looking at the TV, and he's just like, "Please, somebody score a run so I can go to bed."
This was kind of eerily reminiscent of the 2018
Yeah.
World
Just-
Series.
Just
When
I
I,
watched that
somebody-
entire game, all 7 hours and 20 minutes. I couldn't believe.
You.
Hey, what's up? But still, I could not believe that it went 18 innings.
Oh yeah,
18 innings, man.
the 2018 World Series.
I was going to tell you my story about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was at Portland for KomoriCon that weekend, which I will be again later this month, and I was keeping tabs on the game as I was enjoying the convention. And then when I got back to my hotel room, I was just astonished that this game was still going on. Holy!
At what point are you just like, you set a timer for yourself and you hopefully don't fall asleep? Because for those, I've watched 2 playoff games. One was the 2005 NLDS, where it was Chris Burke who hit the walk-off against Joey Devine. That went 18 innings. That was a tying of the record after 13 years, but you don't expect it.
I know.
That's kind of a big thing, is if you, because that had history, because that was one of Roger Clemens' last playoff appearances he ever had.
Mm. Oh, by the way, me and Joey talked about the debate between him and Pedro. Pedro was like much better than.
Well, Pedro was the better clean pitcher.
Mhm.
Because if Clemens never took performance-enhancing drugs, he would have been better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But from 96 until 2005, he was not the same. He was on, and I mean on. Because if you look at 80s, I think it was 84 to 95, he was not on him. He would have been a fantastic Hall of Famer. But that last 11 years he spent just with a needle in his rear end.
I know. Stop there, Jeffrey. In that chat.
Well, if you ever want to look at a guy who was so good at his craft, hey, what's up there? But the guy I think of that spent the most time, and I think if Houston re-signs him, Arizona's never the same isn't the franchise that wins that 01 World Series.
Luis Gonzalez.
Yeah, no, I don't think that happens. I think if the Randy Johnson re-signs with Houston in 1999, everything in the sports landscape changes.
I'll tell you something about Clemens. Sorry.
I know, but Johnson was better than Clemens.
And Roger was a way better player in Boston than New York.
Yeah, no, he was fine, but once he got to the Blue Jays, that was when he probably started shooting up. I'm sorry, but he had to have at that point.
If he would have been a Hall of Famer if he stopped with the rest, after the Red Sox. That's what people said. I heard.
I'll be honest. I think Randy Johnson was a Hall of Famer even before he got traded, because Nolan Ryan and Tom House taught him, unfortunately, because the story goes Tom House and Nolan Ryan teach Randy Johnson to become a better pitcher. He goes out and strikes out 17 Rangers in his next start, and they're like, well, I wish we had taught him before he came back to town. And that's what happened. He ended up, but that was the scary part, was for 4 years, if you ever want to think about this, Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson have the same thing in common besides being Hall of Famers. They both won 4 consecutive Cy Youngs. No one else has done that besides them.
Yeah.
Maddux did it with with pretty much off a 2-seam fastball, slider, curveball, such as that. Johnson did it striking out 300 or more in 4 straight seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And he is still, because I don't remember his exact total for strikeouts, but if he had not been injured in 04 and another, I think it was 96, he has 5,000 strikeouts. He's the second to 5,000. He has 4,000, and I'm probably wrong. I don't know if I am. 4,785 career strikeouts, which is second only to Nolan Ryan's 5,714.
Dang.
Realistically, he is he's second all time in strikeouts. He's only 21 victories behind, I believe, Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan won 324 games, I think. And Randy Johnson won 303.
Yeah.
But the scary part is the man's longevity for a guy who was 6'10". He had no. Hello, Danny. How are you? But he had no business being that good for so long on such an intimidating frame where all that pressure was on that shoulder of his. And he never once had Tommy John surgery. Not once.
That is remarkable.
Man.
And he was averaging anywhere between 99 and 102. Even at the end, he was hitting 93 at 45 years old.
Yeah.
And that's why I think longevity is important when it comes to that stuff, because all these ball players, even now, I think of how Randy Johnson, now that he's done with baseball, he's become a photographer. He's found a second coming as a photographer.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of a side note. Remember the bird death incident from 2000?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a
He made
complete
that part of his
accident.
logo of his company.
I find that
wow.
interesting that he actually uses that, because
I can.
that happened in spring training of 2001. It was a complete accident, too. He just wound up, threw a fastball at 101. This pitcher comes out of nowhere and just... It was an accident, and Peter was all over him for an accident.
Yeah,
And they showed the
it
pigeon
happens at
afterwards, and
baseball games like that.
it's an accident. It's a freak accident. There's no way he would have done that on purpose.
The bird was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all we're
Yeah,
gonna say.
you just... How are you going to expect... There you go. How are you going to expect something like that to happen? They flew through, and then one bird gets unlucky. Just... And you could see him fly by, and there's one. You want to talk about having... And he had terrible control at the beginning of his career. That is the strangest thing to ever happen. Nobody just nails a bird on purpose.
That had to be like once. The odds of that had to be so slim, very slim.
It's very slim, because the
2001.
joke of it all is it's happened one other time before, but it happened in Toronto. Not to a pigeon, but to a seagull.
Oh.
And the one who did it was a Yankee. This was Dave Winfield.
Oh.
He was throwing a ball in. He killed a seagull.
Oh, dear.
Damn.
And everybody was laughing because they said that was one of his most accurate throws he had the entire season.
Wow, that's kind of morbid.
Just reading about stuff like that, because there's weird injuries. Like, you ever want one of the weirdest ones to ever happen? Joel Zamaya, he ended up missing the rest of the 06 playoffs. He played Guitar Hero so much, he got elbow problems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he played so much Guitar Hero, he got tennis elbow because of it. And may I add, he holds the record. And it involves Ken Griffey Jr., funnily enough. 104 mile an hour fastball. Jr. turns on it in Detroit and hits a grand slam.
Oh.
Sweetest swing in baseball for a reason. Nobody does stuff like that anymore. And it's kind of crazy.
Nope. Never.
Because you want to talk about
Hey,
Chapman.
I have a question for your puppet.
Go
Have you ever killed a bird before, Mr. Jesster Puppet?
No, I would never.
No, I'm asking a puppet.
Oh.
Kill the bird?
Yeah.
Is this a romantic thing? What? No, this is. What are? Where the heck did you get that idea from? That's the only other way to explain that.
Did you get the idea from Randy Johnson?
Johnson. Don't you need
Randy Johnson.
Jackson?
I'm trying not to.
Hey, Chef the Puppet, what do you think about Redbubble?
How do I know what color they are?
Are you excited for the weakest link?
Oh man.
What the hell? That came back?
Where was I last week? I saw my first NFL game in person, Tampa Bay against Seattle. The Bucks won on a walk-off field goal, but those were sharp-looking uniforms that I saw. And for some unearthly reason, I began thinking of this food combo, steak and shrimp.
Oh, surf and turf.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
That's it. Because that's the one that's seafood and steak. I've seen it before. It's not bad. You just gotta really like seafood.
Honestly, I'm with the NFL. I'm happy where Drake May is going, but if I don't see a playoff win for the rest of my life, I don't really care because I witnessed that dynasty. So, I'm
Well,
on with my Patriots.
the only team I'd ever really have kind of an issue with actually winning a Super Bowl is the Texans.
Oh,
Because they've only been around 23 years. They've had like 3 playoff wins, maybe.
yeah.
And I don't have an issue with that. I just find it funny that Dallas, even today, Dallas lost to Carolina. One of the worst teams in football the last 2 seasons, and now they're at 500. So that's even harder to believe.
I know.
Crazy that the only team that hasn't made it to the NFC Championship game this century, the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's and a lot of people want to blame.
Jerry Jones.
Well, I think he is part to blame because he's the one that ruined that. I feel like once he got rid of Jimmy Johnson, that team just went.
They did
Well,
win a
the
Super Bowl
last
with
time
Twister,
they
though.
came close was 2014, and that was when Des Bryant dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, how did the Cowboys become your favorite team, Jesse?
I grew up in the '90s. You know, I watched them as a kid. You know, I became a fan of the triplets, and I saw them win 3 Super Bowls.
And before you ask, David, the triplets weren't 3 brothers. It was Troy Aikman.
Yep.
It was Michael Irving, and it
Yep.
was Emmitt Smith. That's
Yeah.
what he means. Not 3 brothers.
Mhm. Michael Irvin was a
He was a
Oh.
great wide receiver until he got stenosis of the spine and had to retire.
That was one of
Yeah.
the worst injuries.
yeah.
I'm not even going to
it was
talk
like his
about
neck.
what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what happened during the Niner game was even worse today. I don't even want to
The
think about it.
49ers.
Yeah, one of the Niners blew out their ankle.
What is with the 49ers? All they do is get injured.
Don't remind me.
I know,
And
but
they're not even
swear to
playing.
God,
They're not
they're
even
trading
playing
stuff.
in that park anymore. That would get flooded with water because of the seawater.
Oh, Candlestick, yeah.
Yeah, Candlestick Park was.
That
Hey,
crazy.
Alex. Alex Warren Chapman.
A lot of crazy.
But
It was an actual stadium, but it constantly was. It was either flooded. Well, it wasn't so much flooded, but it was always windy. There was so much wind, and it would have taken Jeff the puppet, and he would have flown a few feet. But still, because there was so much wind because it was always because it's by the bay and everything.
Yeah.
It was on a marsh, and it was just there was so much of a cross breeze. It was insane.
Yeah.
So you're saying I went to space?
This is a true story about Candlesticks Park, but Stu Miller, who's a pitcher
George
came back in the
Springer.
60s. Well, he got blown off at that ballpark, and that was
Oh, that's
called a
right. It
bar-
was Stu the Barber Miller. That was who
Oh,
it was.
dear.
It was during their All-Star game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I think any sharp breeze would take a puppet and send them flying.
I know.
Then again, it would happen to David too, because David
You don't do that
doesn't.
to me. Take a sock puppet instead.
What were you saying about me?
I was gonna say, give you a pair of wings. There goes David.
I wish I could have a pair of wings so that way I don't have to worry about
You
transportation.
mean like a Mario game?
No, I don't think David would want to be a Tanuki, to be honest.
No, not that Mario character, but I just feel like in general, like I want.
The name of the car brand is Suzuki.
No, some
No.
people like Suzukis. I almost had a Suzuki. It was not a great car. Hello, Justin.
Yeah.
But
What was the
no,
last car brand they had? The only one I know was
What's
an
up,
area.
Alex? What's up, Justin?
so they have a thing called a Grand Vitara. A family friend was just like, okay, let's see if you want to drive this car. I got into that driver's seat. I did not feel comfortable in the fucking car. Excuse my language, but I did not feel comfortable in it. Because I'm not a really big guy, but I'm a heavier set person. When I got into that car, my knees were up to my stomach. The steering wheel was like right here. It was a manual, so I didn't know that it was a manual. So
Yeah.
if you ever learn how to drive and you know what an automatic is, an automatic is a 4 on the floor, and then the older cars, they don't have the thing where you press your left foot down on the e-brake. The e-brake is right next to you in the older cars, so you have to press a button and you have to go, and then you have to go like that.
Mhm.
That's different. But needless to say, I did not get that car from the family. I did not buy that car from the family friend because if the steering wheel was any closer to my knees, I'm pretty sure I would have crushed my future children every time I made a left turn.
Well, with me
There was
being five,
no room.
with me being 5.3, I think I'll fit in that car.
No, you would have fit just fine.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I didn't know how to adjust the driver's seat, and I didn't know how to
Your
drive it.
children?
My nads, yes.
No.
Future children, the nads.
There's great children, grandchildren.
Yeah, you keep up with the
Tell
old
me.
jokes, you're gonna get it.
Please tell me either A, that's a girl we're talking to, or B, it's a type they're talking to, not a human.
Suzuki, yeah, they collaborated with General Motors in the 90s to make the cars under the Geo name. The Geo Metro was their most well-known model of those. It wasn't much, but it was effective transportation. Simple, effective, no frills. I remember those cars.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind driving a Geo Metro.
Yeah. I don't know what car. I don't know what type of
Did I
car.
kick him out?
Huh? But I don't know what
Oh,
type
never
of.
mind.
Um,
I thought I offended him, and then he was like, oh, fuck this guy, goodbye.
but I don't know what type. Joey, what car do you recommend I should get if I ever get a driver's license?
Okay. So the way it used to be, and I don't know if, because I know Jesse's got the age on me right now, and I know
Yeah.
Johnny's got a couple years on me, but the thing is, You used to want to get a lemon car. That was the way it used to be. And by lemon, I don't mean a bad car, but it was an older car, so that way you learned how to drive. Then you got a newer car, and you were set.
I see.
So that way you can learn first, drive an older car, and then move forward to a newer car. That's what I did. I drove my mom's old minivan, then I got my own car, and now I drive that. You always want to start with with a bigger car, then move on to a smaller car. I'm not talking about a truck. I'm not talking about a big truck. I'm talking about like the only reason I say minivan is like because my family needed a car that would fit me, my dad, and my sisters and my grandmother at the time. But that was just it. The bigger the car, the more cautious you are when you drive. Or more cautious you have to be. Because, and I say this bluntly, you would not have wanted to drive a Pinto because those things, that would have given you a heart attack if you drove it.
Oh my.
Yeah, no, those had the massive rear window and everything. So when you looked back or looked over your shoulder, you constantly felt like somebody was following you. Pintos have and I know one of the people who lives in my neighborhood or the surrounding neighborhood still owns a Pinto, and I've seen it.
Well, if I were to get a car, I hope it has one of those camera features, so that way I know.
Oh, the backup camera! That's cheating.
I would love to see him drive an Isetta from Family Matters.
Can I do that?
I wonder if David's ever seen Family Matters.
That was before my time.
Let me see.
That's what I said. It's the car Steve Urkel used to drive.
The BMW Isetta. Oh yeah.
It was an older car. What are you doing? Okay. But no.
Yeah, where the door was basically like a.
It was not a large car. Yeah. Think of what a smart car looks like now.
Let me see if I can find one on the.
Oh no. It's so small, David. If you farted in it, the car would double in size. Quite literally, it would have doubled in size.
I found one. I'm gonna show it.
I don't think he would do it. But I know someone who can.
Oh.
Really?
But the old Isetta was an actual car. That's
what
it is. That's it.
That thing right there.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's uglier than a gremlin.
Reportedly, it was classified as a motorcycle.
I mean, it's a 3-wheeler. There's not 4 wheels on the thing. It's a big tricycle.
You could drive that, David. That'd be a good car to start.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad car. It's just that it was an older car. Like the upholstery and everything's different. But it's certainly a smart car would be probably, I'm not saying it would be too small, but smart cars are very much a one-person vehicle.
My brother drove one when he was a security guard.
I would not be able to fit in one of those. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. You have no room for anything else, let alone trunk space. Yeah, no, I like the car I drive. It's a Hyundai. It gets 36 to the gallon. That's what I like.
I'm sure
my Sonata is very, very nice, and I've been very good to it. I've only had it since my other person had it, but it's nice. I have several stickers on it too. It's the one thing. Oh, the wood upholstery. Oh, no.
My goodness. Wood paneling
Now-
was everywhere then. Even on
Yes. If you light them, and you want to talk about how things were then, it's kind of funny, but every adult, just about, every significant adult used to smoke while driving. That's how it used to
Oh,
be.
Jesus.
Yeah. So if you ever drove
Family
a
in
car
a
like
car
that
like
with
that,
the
if
wood
you ever
paneling,
get married and have one, start a family.
yeah, that was your family car back then. That was what it was. That was the equivalent of a family car because it's set 9 actually. 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, 4 in the very far back seat. And the trunk space, you could have fit a couple bodies in that trunk if you
Not to
really
mention it was
wanted to.
bumpy back there too.
Oh yeah, that one of those seats was a hump.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about one of those with the separator. I'm talking about like an actual hump seat. If you had to sit on that hump, anytime you go over a bump, you go boom, 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 boom.
I mean,
Because
those cars were more fancier back then. By looking at
well,
them.
that's wood paneling was considered fancy, but you
Yeah.
accidentally light a match around that car, it goes gone. It's on fire. Next, you don't have a car anymore. Now, wood paneling you don't see anymore, and
Yeah.
it's for a good reason because that's dangerous stuff. Wood paneling, you can't. It could have been so much worse with wood paneling, but now I've seen cars, and I love older vehicles, especially ones from the 30s and 40s. There's a gentleman who drives around my area in a 1929,
Ooh.
and that's 96 years old. It's
How
got
in the hell did he
original
get that
stuff.
thing to work, or did he build it himself?
Wow.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a cherry red. Oh my god, I get jealous. I tell people I will look at someone else's car before I look at their girlfriend because I love older vehicles, especially.
But
His face. I've never seen somebody whip around when I said something like that.
what are you talking about?
I've never get in trouble for looking at someone else's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I would look at their car first because I love a nice car.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Also, specifically for David, because I don't really use mine anymore, this is what you get with a car you used to get with a car. It's called a fob.
Oh.
It's comes with a thing for it comes with a thing to lock, unlock, get the trunk up, and if you really didn't like people, that is the alarm button.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't use mine anymore, so I still have the keys, but I just don't use the fob.
I'll use that button every time I see a Yankees fan.
I know, but there's such a thing as disturbing the peace, David.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, they had those car alarms that would talk. Please step away from the vehicle.
Those were the original car alarms when they first came about. And horns have changed a lot too. Some of them used to play La Cucaracha, which is actually funny because it used to go like that.
Yeah.
And it was it was a different time. Another thing was, yeah. Hold on.
It's crazy how not only cars but TVs changed over the years. Is crazy. I mean,
do you still have one of those box TVs, David?
I used to.
Oh, that was one of the first. There's so many different types of TVs too. Yeah. The one where you used to have to get up to change the channel.
Yeah, the ones where our grandparents had. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I remember going to my grandparents' house all the time. And the thing that you never wanted to find out the hard way was the lighter.
Yeah.
What's that?
I found that out in my dad's older car.
What do you
I
mean by
pulled it
lighter?
out. Well, the lighter used to be, that's how people used to smoke then. It would come out just like the old
cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cigarette
Right.
lighter, and you just push down like this.
I remember.
My 9-year-old mind was just like, oh, what's this? Puts finger over the thing, presses down.
Oh yeah, the little lighter. The little lighter.
Yeah,
that
no,
they were-
the push lighter.
yeah, the push
You
lighter.
never learned about that.
Oh yeah, that.
It's just little stuff you learn as you're younger. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, what? Probably the best part of going to my grandparents' house, and they don't really have them as much anymore, but they have them in certain stores, is the little strawberry candies or the watermelon candies with the juice inside. Those.
All right, I can see you're saying I'd like to go back in the box. All right.
These are. I
See
mean,
ya.
Bye, little Jeff. But no, they still make them.
this
They're
is
like,
not exactly like the old TVs, but
well, that's close. Because they used to have this large area in the back where all
Yeah.
the tubes and everything were stored. Like they came out in the 80s. That was your TV, and that was what a normal TV costs now. Like
Yeah.
even back then, people complain about the cost of video games now. Here's a news flash. Those games cost $70 then, or $60 or $70 for Nintendo 64 games back in the 90s. They
Yeah.
weren't cheap.
Mhm.
It's not like when it got to past the Xbox era, PlayStation 2 era, the GameCube era. That's when the price started to go down. But now that they're more popular again, you go to any website or any GameStop, it's $35 to $50 for these games now.
Yeah.
Even Switch games are back where it used to be almost 30 years ago when they're at Nintendo 64 launch title prices of $70. It's time's not a flat circle, but it's moments like this where it makes you realize the merry-go-round, and it's not the Mandela effect so much as it's the same thing because the N64 turns 30 next year.
Yep. I have one sitting right here next to me, along with my Switch and my PS4 and my PS3. I have my GameCube somewhere in here. too.
Here's something that'll make David feel old.
Congrats to the Mariners for taking game one.
I
This-
never had a GameCube, but I had a Nintendo Wii.
So at one point, they were
You could
charging. I think it was. Yeah, this is a blue. This is a purple one.
Yeah.
The rarest one was the orange one. The orange one, and all you used to have to do, plug in a couple cables, digital, analog, DC.
Mm.
You were good to go.
Okay. By the way,
no, He has a black one. These used to come in all different colors.
I got a purple one too.
Yeah, no, these, and the way it used to be was you could take these out and you could hook them up.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Seattle just won 3-1.
Well, that's good. They still got 3 more games to win before they go to their first ever pennant.
Yep.
But just seeing what you can do with these and what you used to be able to do. Yes, this is an older system, but this was the first one I ever had. And you never had to worry about memory cards or anything else.
Yeah.
Because as I've gotten older, I've taken to the fact that I do have memory cards. So this one I bought years ago. This was your equivalent of the Holy Grail back then. So when this first came out,
Oh yeah, I have
This-
one like that.
this was the biggest memory card you could have. The 1019. And it used to just go straight in here like that.
That was 64. When it came to memory cards, you had to buy multiple because
Yeah,
these
no,
things
it
didn't
was
really.
much
Yeah.
different then too.
Yeah.
But the way things used to work is, David, you used to be able to get the cords. If your friend had the cords, you used to be able. That's what this was for. That's what the handle was for. You used to be able to take this to other people's houses and play that way. It's not like now where you can just have the portable freaking system and it comes in its own little suitcase. You had to bring your actual console with you wherever you wanted to go.
Yep, you cannot.
This is what I mean by times have changed there, Mr. St. Dennis. Times have really changed. I want to try something.
This is what I use for my Nintendo Switch. Oh,
Very nice.
Dave.
I'll wait. But
And I'll get 2 thumbs up.
Let me see here.
Siskel and Ebert, God rest their souls. They did good.
Yeah, no, but that was just it. It was all fancy schmancy back then.
yeah, I grew up with the Nintendo Wii, but man, those days were crazy.
How many TVs did you destroy, David, after letting go of the controller? Oh no!
No, I didn't do that.
Because there was people when they first got there was like news reports during that time when the Wii was popular that people were letting go of their nunchucks. They weren't wearing the little thing the strap, and they would let go.
The wrist strap.
Yeah, and then they would let go, wham, right into the middle of their plasma TV.
Well, that was back when plasma TVs were the equivalent of, I think it was, well, not to be rude, but it was like tissue paper at that point.
Yeah.
But you always had to have the right cords for the GameCube.
But the one thing I liked about Nintendo back in the day, as if you didn't have that many cords, the AC cord was the same for the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and GameCube. You didn't have to worry about. The only thing that would suck is you would have to switch.
Yeah, you'd always have to switch, and for the longest time, and I know Johnny and Jesse would agree with me, and I'm sure Emo would agree with me too. Games always used to get played on Channel 3.
Yeah, I remember that.
You had to switch to it all the damn time. And if you had siblings, you always hear your mom say, you lose this level, you have to let your little brother play or your little cousin play or however.
Yeah.
And you would have to hope you did not lose that next life because they wanted to play so bad that they forced you to lose. Oh, yeah, there would have been different
I'm
things.
trying to find the picture, but I have the original. Yeah, that not that way, Tyre. I mean the Nintendo Wii, not my Wii.
Yeah, no, they're used to... Mr. Calvaire strikes again.
Mr. Calvert. But back in the day, you didn't have didn't have bags like this to keep the games in.
You know what?
No.
I hope David's parents get him a Game Boy, the very first Game Boy. I would like to see David just like go like this.
Yeah, no, it was about the size. The original one was about the size of this phone, except a lot thicker around. I played the original Game Boy. I played the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And when I was 8, I saved up to get a Game Boy Advance SP. Where it wasn't the Game Boy like this. It was the Game Boy like this, where it had the flip up top. And the best thing about it was you didn't have to buy that stupid flashlight thing that you had to have with the magnifying glass. That was the biggest pain in the neck. was
That's
you
right.
went from one thing to another, and hold on.
What was that?
I'm there we go. I was drum rolling for the next person.
Oh,
The next person.
I was gonna say he's looking to his left, he's looking to his right.
Yo,
This is interesting.
I just noticed now. Okay, I don't know why this is.
I was gonna say I was waiting for David to catch on. But no, the way it used to be was you used to have this thing where it would come with a magnifying glass and it would come with a light for your Game Boy.
The Virtual Boy? Oh no.
No, the
Virtual.
Virtual Boy was the one you would get. Oh God,
Oh,
you used to
boy.
get people used to get seizures due to the Virtual Boy
Yeah.
because of the red lighting and everything. That was how bad it used to be,
Mm.
and it was the original part of virtual reality. Like you'd be able to play Pong on it, Tron, all the older games. It was from way back.
Echo.
Echo.
Oh, it's gone now. Okay, good.
But the
Sorry.
way it used to be was after the Game Boy Color, because it went from NES to the SNES, and then after that came the original Game Boy, which was only in black and white. And then came the Game Boy Color, where it had color for the first time. That was revolutionary back then. And after the Game Boy Color came the Game Boy Pocket, I believe, which is meant to be able to fit in your pocket because it used to be too big to put in your pocket.
Yeah, the Game Boy Big and Wide.
Yeah, that one I remember playing. And that one, you had to hope. You had to hope your parents had the rechargeable batteries, which weren't a thing until the mid-90s.
I think the worst handheld I ever had was the Game Gear.
No.
Yeah. Playing NBA Jam and then your batteries just... And
those things went through batteries like nobody's business. The
it
Game
was like,
Gear,
6 batteries you had to have.
Yeah, that was right. You had to have 6 AA batteries. Meanwhile, the Game Boy would only run on 2 and it would last for hours. But if you had rechargeable batteries, you were fine for hours.
Yep.
That's why Duracell were the good ones and Energizers didn't come along till later. But if you got a 4-pack of Energizer batteries, you were good for an entire week. But you were conserving each battery because there was only ever 8 to a box. So you would go through 2, and then another 2, and then another 2, and then you'd be...
Oh.
Yes, that Lion King game was very traumatic. That one was very, very just...
You want me to play the Virtual Boy Tire?
David, you will get a headache within 5 minutes. I'm warning you.
Yeah.
Because those red lights just... It messes with... Because we see all colors.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at just red and black like that for a certain period of time, it messes up your eyes. It really does. That's why 3 out of the 4 people, or 4 out of the 6, I should say, in this room are wearing glasses. Because they stared at the TV for a little too long.
Yeah, because, the Red Sox sometimes like to go to extra innings and all that stuff.
Of course, interestingly, the LCD TVs we have today don't cause that same effect.
Yeah, it was blue light. That was the thing, it's the blue light from staring at the TV for too long. And because we were younger and we didn't listen, we used to put our hand against the television set and get zapped.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
David, you're probably a little too young to know this, but there used to be a time where when we were younger, when the TVs were older, that's why the big TVs like the Panasonics and everything else, the older ones,
I remember
clunky ones, you used to be able to touch the screen and you would feel a quick zap. Because that's the way it used to be with televisions.
I remember.
Now the glass doesn't do that anymore because it's not glass anymore. It's plastic. It's
I remember
plastic.
that. especially like with the static TV
Static
menu.
electricity, quite literally. And the thing that made it worse is most families didn't have linoleum back then. Linoleum was that plastic floor. But that's a virtual boy. You literally have to stare into it
Look
to
at
play.
yeah. See that? See this one?
What's that?
That's the
Virtual
virtual
boy.
boy. You literally have
Yeah.
to stare into it and hold it up using the controller. So it was a literal failure. It failed so
Yeah.
hard they don't even bring it up anymore. That's how bad the virtual boy was.
Some people would tape would have to tape, use duct tape or electrical tape just to wrap it around their heads and for them to keep it on.
Oh, that. Okay, I understand why people would do that, but I can't imagine taking the tape off.
Yeah.
Heck no.
Just all the hair coming out. Just painful.
Yeah.
But the Genesis wasn't a bad system. It's just that I'm trying to remember which one had like it had the little it wasn't a nunchuck, but it was the joystick and the 6 buttons.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
Super
about.
NES Advantage, I believe.
I think so, but there was so many weird ones, and there was the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Pocket, and then there was another one that came out from Sega. I think they were trying to rival the Game Boy at one point.
They had, I think it was the Game Gear. Then they had the Sega Nomad, where you could play the regular Sega games on.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on this portable gaming system, but that was a failure too, because when you try and take something that you have and make it portable, it's so much harder. Because that's the story of Tetris. Tetris made it on the original Game Boy.
Oh,
that
was my first Game Boy game.
It was a commercial success, and even now people play it. There was Tetris 99, which came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But that was the original. Yeah.
I mean,
that was the
with
original.
The NES, I'm still trying to find a picture of my NES, but it's I have it at home, and it's a pretty amazing way, to
Have you played it? Have you played it yet, David?
Oh yeah, I have a couple of times.
I think my favorite one has to be the original Game Boy, and then the Wii is up there on my top 10 because my grandmother and my parents got it for me way back when, and now almost 20 years later, I still have one because they last a long time. They're going to turn 20 next year too.
Yeah,
they came out in 2006, and I remember when I was 11, right around Christmas time, when my mom was still working at the mall. She worked as a camera. She worked in for a Wolf camera, which was the epitome. Because now, 20 years on, we all got camera phones and iPods and everything else. But it used to be that you'd go and get these little yellow cameras. When you go on field trips, you'd have this little Kodak camera, about 30 photos, and you would take pictures. Your family would go get the photos developed. You'd have them in photo albums and everything else. And your family would have like 15 of them over the years based off of how you grew up. They still sell the little Kodak cameras, and people still get them developed. That was part of my first job, was making sure that people had signed this release, and then they get this thing signed. I dropped the film in, and may I add, getting the film out of those cameras is the biggest pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. Even putting them in was a pain in the ass.
Well, it's like this big. This was how big those rolls of film were, and basically this was how the film would start. You used to have to hook it up to the camera itself and then have to put the camera back together and hope you didn't break it.
Yeah. Could you imagine giving an old school camera to David? He'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this?
So It's funny that you say that.
That's
My
a
friend actually gave me one a couple of years ago for my birthday. Not like an old school camera, but oh, I don't know if Jesse saw this, but I got this. I think it was last month or a month or two ago.
Mick Foley.
Signed autograph, by the way.
Nice.
I didn't get it framed yet, but I'm trying to find a frame for it. But
That's sweet.
okay, so that's tomorrow. They're getting their money out tomorrow. Okay, good. But it's this camera where you can take pictures with a flash. I can find it. But I'll find it sooner than later. But
Now with that autograph, like how did they manage to get it for you?
oh, I went to GalaxyCon.
Huh.
I got this
Go
from
to a
somebody
con,
else
David,
too.
and be like,
I got this from somebody from one of my coworkers.
Oh, okay. 1972. Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's an older one, but still, it's little stuff like that I keep.
Yeah.
But it's this camera where you get it, you wind it up and everything, and it keeps photos, and then it pops it out the side like the older cameras used to.
Yeah.
You used to be able to take photos, and it would spit it out the front, and you'd have to do this. And this was the most important thing, was exposure. You had to wave that photo a few times to get the exposure right, and then the photo would show up.
Yeah. I forgot what they were called.
Polaroids.
Yeah, Polaroids. There we go.
But no, I know it's a lot to take in, David, but a lot of things that are now new again were once new to a majority of us.
Yeah.
Like, not just video games, but especially like if your parents ever kicked you out of the house.
When we were kids, we didn't get to stay inside all day. We had to go out and find it.
Always have to go out.
Yeah.
Well, that was my favorite part, was finding out, oh yeah, you have to be outside all day. Yay! Because I remember
play baseball with your friends,
Yes, and that was my
That's
favorite.
why it was America's pastime.
Well, that was the thing, is I was right up the street from a baseball diamond every day. Of course, now not anymore, because that's the high school I went to, and now there's gates and everything around it and everything. But you used to have your own personal playground, these baseball diamonds and everything else. Kickball was another one. But the thing about kickball is it's different now, where you have to tag people with the ball. They used to do it where you had to get the ball thrown at you, like it was dodgeball, and it hurt. It's not like now where they're the softballs and everything else. It's a big rubber ball. It hurts. That's the way it was played. It meant if it didn't hurt, you weren't playing the game right. And getting all banged and scraped up on the what's it called? On the ground and everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
Blacktop. That's exactly what it was blacktop.
Blacktop.
Blacktop is basically when they used to tar things down, and it hurt worse than cement.
Oh yeah.
You used to get a thing called road rash, and that was when the pavement, and you went shh. Like one time I got a road rash so bad it went from here down. I got it on my nose, and it was in 8th grade when this happened. So I was slowly growing in my facial hair then, but I had a goatee straight down, just like a straight goatee down of road rash from it. But no, it's not a fun thing, but then you felt invincible because it wasn't the same thing back then. It was different.
I just wonder why people were... I know it was different back then, but I was able to be outside and just be independent right away. I'll wait for Joey, but...
Well, our parent, that was our way of our parents getting rid of us, so they could have peace of mind, because we drove our parents. When we were growing up, we drove our parents. Yeah, we drove our parents crazy. So we would
Yeah,
have
that,
we would have to we would if we stayed inside, we had to do chores, or
yeah.
we get our asses whooped.
Yes. And the thing was, even now, when I was younger, the number one thing was your curfew was not when the sun went down.
That was when the lights came on the street.
Yes. It was when the street lights came on. And that was the big one. If you weren't home by the street lights coming on, you got your ass whipped.
Yeah.
And like my question is, how like I'll ask Joey like
Oh,
why
my camera's off and my mic's still on. I'm listening.
like how were kids were able to be outside and just be independent right away and don't have to worry about
That's
anything.
the way
It was
we
a
do.
different time.
Yeah, it was a different
Very
time,
different
kid.
Oh, I-
time.
Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. But how did that get started of being allowed? That's my question.
Oh, it was in the 70s and 80s where parents were hungover and it was the weekend. They wanted to be left alone. They were off.
Yeah.
They were off work. They wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
It wasn't
What?
independence. It was get the hell out of my house. I have a hangover.
Yeah. It just
Or it was, I'm tired. I want to be alone for a few hours. Leave me alone.
yeah, just basically saying, hey, let me watch the Cowboys lose, okay?
Well, it wasn't so much that. It was, I need to rest. Because
Yeah.
back in the 70s and 80s, they didn't care what you did as long as you weren't shooting up or getting drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, now
Nowadays,
out of the
these
house,
these kids get to stay inside all day, playing
playing on their Switch, playing Minecraft, looking at these, being
I
on
don't-
YouTube all day.
or David playing Roblox.
I never played Roblox.
I tried it once. It wasn't really that fun, but my
Yeah.
favorite thing was getting dirty. That meant if you came home, you got to be clean again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never about how much you did, because some days you didn't feel like doing anything, and that was okay. Honestly, it was even better when you got to stay home from school. It's not that you
Yeah.
couldn't leave the house, it was that sometimes you got to watch Price is Right or something like that. It was cartoons on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yep.
So
Just
this
being
was
able to watch cartoons, even at all.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
Like, imagine David trying to watch Power Rangers and understand it. Okay.
Oh my God! I remember watching Power Rangers was freaking great.
hey Jesse. So this was something I got a few years ago for Christmas. It's not the NES, but it was a hot Christmas item. Take just share screen now. Jesse.
I remember the NES Mini was a hot item at one point too.
Can you see my screen? Jesse? There we go.
Oh yeah.
This is the Game & Watch.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
that.
that's right. I forgot about the Game and Watch.
Yep.
It's funny because there's a character in Smash Brothers that's called Mr. Game and Watch.
That's
That was
correct.
who he was, and that's where it was from.
Yep. And this came out back in like what, 2020, 2021, 2022?
Well, that's the newer version, David. The older version came out in the 80s.
Oh, I know that, but with this one, this is 2021, excuse me. That was a hot Christmas item back then.
But everything's changed now with the new Switch coming out.
Yeah. Could you
and this was
imagine
still-
the price on eBay?
Oh, I'm not surprised because
I'm guessing you mean
everyone
this.
wants something new. Everybody does.
I don't know if I want the Nintendo Switch right now. I don't know if I, because I may have to wait until next Christmas. Not this Christmas, but the year after. Because what games are going to be coming out for the Switch anyway?
Well,
Probably
not just the
nothing
Switch
too
1, but
incredible, to be
this.
honest.
What's that, Emo?
But not just the Switch 1, but this. And what you mean?
The Switch 2.
The Switch 2, yeah.
See,
I think I'd get me a Switch 2 because all the WWE games are going to be on there and Madden's finally on there. That's probably one I want. I want to go back to Nintendo. I'm tired of Sony.
See, the only
well-
game I have right now is the new Mario Kart World.
How
I've
is
heard
it?
that one's fantastic, though. Mario Kart, the new version of Mario Kart, they redeemed themselves after a decade on the same game.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you didn't expect the... Well, they redeemed themselves after the Wii U completely just flunked the test.
Well, you think
remember when
they
that first
redeemed
came out and I
themselves
thought,
until
hey, that's a
you
good
saw the
system.
prices.
No, a Switch Mini would have been okay with me, but I still have the system I have, so I play my PS4 all the time. It's not about whether or not you have the system. It's about how often you play it.
That's the key right there.
Well, it's the thing is, so many people get so spoiled. I knew a guy who had just about every system there was, and yet still lived at home. It's just like, dude, you have a job, and you should. I get the collector's value, but it's just like, you sell all those systems together as a collection, you can easily afford a new house if you wanted to, if they're good and in working order. But
Yeah.
never.
Same thing with sport cars.
Well, the thing that always bothered me was the shoe guys. The ones who would go buy brand new Jordans all the time. It's just like, do you really need that new pair of shoes? And they're just like, huh? It's just like,
Yeah,
dude, you're wasting.
What's the point of collecting shoes where you're not going to do much with them? Like, what's the main?
Well, the number one thing is, it's always the guys who can't afford rent, yet they can afford to get the new pair of shoes.
Oh, I know that.
That's called living beyond your means, and then you end up in debt to your eyeballs, and you're like,
well, then they won't sell their shoes.
Well, you know what? My brother was smart when he invested in buying Jordans. When he was in between jobs, he sold them, and he was able to get another job, and he could just buy new pairs.
Yeah.
That's all you ever have to do.
Yep.
Is ensure the fact that you know what you're doing and having a backup plan. Because I don't envy those people who go and buy these things that end up being massive mistakes. Like the fact that I invested in what I had and I'm getting an investment in it, I'm getting to have it for longer. That's what an investment is for. You invest in things. That's why I never understood.
I mean,
I understand
if you're going to collect
gambling,
stuff,
but not
make
so
sure
much
you.
sports betting.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is sports betting sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's not worth it.
I went in twice and I lost everything, and my mom yelled at me.
Well, the biggest issue with
Could
sports
you imagine?
gambling
Could you imagine doing that as a kid and you get caught? Look at your mom yells
there
at you.
is
and
one
screams.
story about that.
My brothers do that though. My second oldest, because I'm the oldest. My second oldest brother does that. He likes to gamble. He doesn't do it like all the time, but he does it and he sometimes wins and he loses.
Well, that's just it. Not the stock portfolios, but the what is it? The Bitcoin people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the biggest risk. Buy low, sell high. It's just like if you lose everything, you have nothing left. And on a good day,
You
you're
see a lot of
okay.
people invest in stuff. Like if I had a chance to do that, I would. Just to, and I and it became successful. I'd still be on YouTube, but I wouldn't. I would. I'd
Well,
probably buy me a new house or something with the money.
well, that's just it. Especially in your area, I'm sure it's cheaper that way. Because I know, depending on the area you live in, it's always different.
Like like certain people that do these, these that what do they call these e-girls?
Yeah.
Amaranth. Yeah, Amaranth is pure example. She did all those racy stuff and spicy stuff, and she owns gas stations and all kinds of stuff now. She invested that money she made from it, and she doesn't even have to do that no more.
No. And that's
Mhm.
just it. Is once you've invested smartly,
Yeah.
you're fine. I'm
I
gonna head
wonder
out.
I remember when they tried to rob her and her. She ran into the thing and her boyfriend went boom. They chased her into the thing. She led him into the thing where her boyfriend was, and her boyfriend was like, all you heard was gunshots, and they ran. They were
Well,
trying to steal her crypto.
that's just it. It's getting to the point where it's not gonna. It doesn't help to try and take someone else's stuff. People never learn that lesson.
I
But
wonder.
it was good chatting with you guys, and I'll see you later. Okay.
All right,
I got to get going as well too. Have a good night, y'all.
all right.
Yeah, Johnny. I wonder what is the cheapest place in LA to live, because it's like with the celebrities, I feel bad with all the taxes they have to pay. Yeah.
Well, if you invest your money smartly, like you own, because Magic Johnson, former Laker, did that. He doesn't really have to do what he does now. He could just sit on, chill. But most people that get financially well off, they tend to like want to keep like pursuing stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like YouTube for me is a hobby. I don't want to.
Mm.
I don't know how it would, like, if all of us got a big or became this big unit or network, how it would how I mean, I don't know how you would react, David, having to be stopped in the street by a crazed fan or people going to your house.
Well,
That's what I'd be scared of.
well, if I ever want to make a full commitment to YouTube again, I'll make sure that it's an actual, like, Barstool Sports, right?
Yeah.
If I have a network channel that has a fan base like that, not like sports, but I mean like a big enough audience and a big enough company like Barstool, but for the network 3000, I can tell you right now the channel lineup will be much different than it is now. And
Yeah.
like I could tell you, if I'm the boss and if I pay my clients such as Chari or whoever else that's on our circle, like they'll make
I think I think with the right people, your channel could be successful. It just depends.
I know.
Um,
I'm just saying if I really wanted to, if I became a boss of this network and wanted to hire people, I could easily, like if I was like a millionaire or whatever, I could easily bring people back to the channel from one time ago and pay them to have them make content on here if I really wanted to. But
could you imagine having to fire people from the panel?
I'm not gonna fire people. No.
David's like, Tom, you fired. But I'm doing great things. You start stuff and you never finish them.
No, I'm not gonna fire. I'm not gonna fire people. If I'm gonna fire people, it's for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And
Like
privately.
let's have Chayton do it.
I don't know, depending on the situation, but I think
Yeah.
it's
You're fired.
yeah.
And then somebody grabs Chayton and starts to strangle him.
know.
Get this son bitch off me.
All right. Well, I think it's time for the closing.
Alrighty. Well, I'd like to thank y'all for joining me. I'll definitely be here next Sunday for the second episode. I think tonight was great. A great start. Here's to many more. Have a good night, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. Peace.
Neon lights are glowing.
All right, let's end it.